On this episode of the Happy Diabetic Kitchen, it's all about the thrill of the grill. Let's get cooking. This is the Happy Diabetic Kitchen, the podcast about people who love to eat and cook healthy. This is your guide to the world of healthy cooking and conversation about happy diabetic living and lifestyles, where we turn ordinary ingredients into something extraordinary. Welcome to the kitchen and let's get cooking. Hello everyone, I am Chef Robert Lewis, the Happy Diabetic, and this is the internet's most delicious cooking podcast. I'm here in the kitchen getting ready to explore a healthy diabetic lifestyle. So, if you're new to the show, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here and hanging out in my kitchen. And as always, Jason's with us. Jace, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Great. How was your week?
Week's been good.
Okay, Jason, so are you all about the thrill of the grill?
Absolutely.
Do you have a favorite food you like to cook on the grill?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, there's always steak. I don't know. How about you?
You know what? I love steak on the grill. I also love salmon. Yeah. Are you a charcoal or a gas guy?
I've only ever used gas, but not for any sort of preference, just kind of always been what I had.
Yeah. Some people are super passionate about that topic. For me, I like gas because it's quick, it's easy, turn it on, you're ready to rock and roll.
Right.
And it seems to work good for me.
Yeah.
I'm all about quick and fast anyway, so. Well, today we thought we would chat about grill. So we're going to share some amazing recipes. We're also going to explore grilling at a whole different level. We're going to really take it to a different level of flavor and technique and kind of take the mystery out of this whole idea of grilling. Typically it's always been like the guy's domain, right? I'm going to be the grill guy.
Sure.
But I don't know if that's so true. So I'm going to work on helping everyone be a great grill meister. And in this recipe of the podcast, we're doing a salmon dish. Imagine that, since that's my favorite thing to cook on the grill. An amazing caramelized roasted corn on the cob, and some grilled peaches of love.
Ooh.
Yeah, something different. Because, I think dessert deserves a place on the grill, and people don't often think about that. So I've got a great grilled peach recipe that's really great. And of course, we have a cool Because of My Diabetes story this week, and much, much more. So if you're ready, let's get cooking. We're going to start off the podcast with a great Because of My Diabetes story. So think about it this way. Simply finish this statement. Because of my diabetes, blank. Something positive. Lemonade out of lemons. Maybe you meet someone who is doing some amazing things with diabetes, or maybe someone who's helped you. I'd like you to tell us your story. So head over to happydiabetic.com, hit the send voicemail link, and record your story. So today's very special Because of My Diabetes story is from Jennifer from Iowa.
Hi, Chef Robert. This is Jen Patterson. I'm 44 years old. I live in Iowa City. I am a writer, wannabe artist, wife, mom, and most recently kayak enthusiast. I was diagnosed with diabetes last March after spending 18 years on the borderline because I had gestational diabetes. Because of my diabetes diagnosis, I finally started paying attention to everything that I feed my body. And I've started wearing Fitbits with my husband. We walk, try to reach 10,000 steps a day. I've actually lost 20 pounds, and my doctor recently reversed the diagnosis when my A1C level diagnosis or test came back significantly lower. She literally gave me a gold star and a hug and said she'd never seen anybody in her office drop the A1C level that quickly. I've really found it motivating to discover yummy, healthy recipes. Thank you so much for all of your inspiration. My family picks out the ones that we continue to eat, and that's been really helpful with them, so they don't feel like they're having to give up anything. I love walking with my husband and using the Fitbit. And I still have at least 40 pounds to lose, but I'm focusing on lifestyle changes instead of the scale. And one of those big changes is eating healthy. And I really do appreciate all of your healthy inspiration. Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer, for your amazing story. I'm so proud of you. You are absolutely killing it. You are a rock star. So now it's time for my 10 killer grilling tips. Think of it like taking the mystery out of the grill. So when I think about grilling, I want to start with the basics. So number one, preheat your grill. Make sure if you're using charcoal, all the embers are nice and gray, there's no black, and nice radiant heat. I mean, just like an oven, grills need to be preheated to get the most out of your cooking. So whether it's gas or charcoal, getting the right temp is the key. My tip number 2 is all about cooking zones. So when cooking with a grill, Josh Evans, the executive chef at Longhorn Steakhouse, advises establishing different zones, especially if you're using a grill to cook multiple things. So in other words, create zones on your grill, different areas where things are hotter and things are cooler and lower temperatures. So like you can sear a steak, put it on the cooler area, and just finish it nice and low and slow. As meat and vegetables start to cook through, you can always move them to a cooler area to slow down the process, or back in the hot area to do the flash, delicious searing finish. Tip number 3, robatayaki. Jason, ever hear that?
No.
Me neither. But I understand the concept. Here's what it is. In Japanese cuisine, robataki literally means fireside cooking. Right? So, I didn't say that right, did I?
No.
No. Okay, let's try it again. Robataki. You say it, Jason.
Robatayaki.
Okay, robatayaki. Jason speaks much better Japanese than I, but literally it means fireside cooking. So often shortened to the word robata, refers to the method of cooking similar to barbecue, in which items of food are cooked in varying speeds over hot charcoal or areas of gas grill. So many Japanese restaurants specialize in this style of food preparation. And traditionally, the food consists of combinations of small morsels, seafood, meats, and vegetables. Low and slow. Take your time. That's what I take away from that step. And I really like low and slow because it tends to just make meats not overcook and you have better control. Tip number 4, surefire skewers. I love skewers. I like to use bamboo skewers. So the key to the bamboo skewer, and you can buy 500 in a package for a couple bucks at the market, not very expensive, but the trick is to soak the skewers so that they don't burn on the grill. So kebab ingredients such as chicken pieces will stay juicier if they're touching one another, but not crammed on the skewers. Always soak the skewers, like I say, so they won't burn. I love skewers because I can portion my meats and vegetables perfectly on the skewer, and there's no mistake of how much I'm going to eat on the skewer. Okay, on to tip number 5. Tip number 5, craft your marinade. When crafting marinade, start with the basics. So for me, that means a little bit of acid like lemon juice, vinegar, a little oil, and a whole bunch of really great flavors. So for me, I start with 1/3 ratio of acid, like a 1-to-3 ratio, like a vinegar to oil, almost just like a salad dressing. 3 parts olive oil, 1 part vinegar. The acid tenderizes the food and contributes a little bit of tanginess, while the oil provides moisture and richness. But tip number 6, don't over marinate. When marinating, short soaking is the key for most foods, 30 minutes to 2 hours. Much more than that, after 2 hours or more, the marinade can even soften food and result in kind of a mushy, icky texture, especially if the marinades contain ingredients like pineapple. I mean, it can give food a tough texture if the marinade has a lot of acid-rich citrus, like orange juice, like I said, or pineapple juice, or vinegar. So my rule of thumb is smaller and more delicate foods, the shorter the soak. My tip number 7 is all about boneless versus bone-in. Boneless chicken pieces do well grilled quickly over direct heat, but bone-in pieces take longer and direct heat alone would burn them. So use a slower indirect heat for bone-in pieces, and a good rapid read meat thermometer you can get for $10 at the supermarket works great. And tip number 8, know when it's ready. To check the doneness of a bone-in chicken thigh, pull one of the thickest ones from the grill, cut it in the underside. If the color of the meat near the bone is still pink, put it back on the grill until it's fully cooked. For chicken, 160 degrees to 165 degrees. Sear steaks to perfection. Season steaks right before you grill. Salt can kind of withdraw the moisture from the meat, so pat them dry on both sides, and also resist the temptation to lift the lid and turn the steaks over and over. Put them on the grill and leave them alone. Sear on high heat and then turn to the lower heat to finish. And my last thrill of the grill tip, number 10, let it rest. Giving cooked food time to rest is the trick to juicy and happy meat. When you rest meat after it's grilled, it allows the juices to redistribute themselves through the meat. So I really prefer to let my meat rest uncovered, because sometimes covering causes food to steam and it can make that nice golden brown crusty crust kind of soggy. Okay, that's it. Now, I will post those 10 tips on my website, happydiabetic.com, in my blog area called Thrill of the Grill. You are listening to the Happy Diabetic Kitchen Podcast. I am your host, Chef Robert Lewis, the Happy Diabetic. Be sure to follow me on all my social links. You'll find them all at happydiabetic.com. Just look for all my links at the top right-hand side of the page. And if you have a question for me, go to my website, hit the Contact tab. You ask questions, I'll answer them. You might even become part of the show if I select your question. So now let's get on to the recipe of the podcast. And again, these will all be on my website, happydiabetic.com, under the blog Thrill of the Grill. So we're going to talk about salmon. I love salmon. And what everybody seems to have a concern about cooking fish on the grill is that the salmon sticks to the grill. So I have a surefire way to make sure that does not happen. So here we go. So we're going to make salmon for 2. I've got 2 salmon fillets, about 4 ounces. I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil on top, extra virgin. I like to dust it with a little garlic powder or fresh chopped garlic, some dill or basil, and a little pepper. That's all you need, and a fresh lemon. So here's what you do. You set up the grill for indirect cooking, high on one side, medium on the other. Get the grill ready. Clean and lightly oil the hot grill. I'm going to season the fish with my garlic and pepper and arrange sliced lemons about a 1/4 inch thick on the cooler side of the grill, right? So imagine this. I'm putting the lemons right on top of the grill. I'm going to put a little fresh dill or basil right on top of the lemon. Then I'm going to place the olive oil and garlic dusted salmon on top of the lemons. I might dab a little extra olive oil on the salmon as the cooking process goes. I'll just have to see how that is. Cover and cook the fish until it's kind of opaque in the center. No need to turn it. 20 to 30 minutes. It will be beautiful. The lemons will be all caramely and it will not stick to your grill. Give that a try. You will absolutely love it. So Jason, I want to just get off the recipe track for a moment. And I don't know if you've seen my new blood glucose monitor. I'm going to just check my blood sugar right now. I'm going to stick it in. And I'm going to cock my little guillotine poking device. Draw a little bit of blood into my meter. 3, 2, 1. Wow, 133. So I'm only checking my blood sugar for one basic reason, to tell you about the meter that I use, because I'm so excited and passionate about using this meter for a couple reasons. Super accurate, doesn't take a lot of blood, and all of the supplies come directly to my mailbox. So really, this is a better way to manage diabetes. So let me introduce you to my friends at DiaThrive. With DiaThrive, your testing supplies are shipped directly to your home when you need them. Gone are the days of visiting multiple stores to find the right strips, waiting in long lines at the local pharmacy, and it's just a hassle. A hassle to sort through all of the insurance requirements. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, DiaThrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. DiaThrive saves you time and money. Plus, they're pretty fun to work with. I mean, these are cool people. So why don't you give DiaThrive a chance to show you that there is a better way to manage your diabetes? They're so convinced that you will love their service just like I do, and I've used their product for over a year. They're offering you $10 off on your first testing supply order. Simply use the code HAPPYDIABETIC at checkout at diathrive.com to get your $10 off your first order. I think you'll like it. And I'm interested to see what you think. Grilling them naked. That's the corn, of course, not you. This is my favorite way to cook corn. The charred, caramelized, brown, nutty bits are what make it taste, well, amazing. It's all about loving what you eat, right? I mean, sounds good to me. So we're going to talk about grilling corn, and this is just super easy. Here's what you do. You shuck and clean the fresh ears of corn. Don't worry about getting every last piece of silk off of there. They will burn anyway on the grill. Coat the corn with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Place the corn directly over a very open and hot fire, either charcoal or gas grill. And make sure, like we talked about, preheat your grill. Then turn the corn occasionally until charred and cooked thoroughly. It should only take about 10 minutes depending on your grill. And then I like to serve it immediately with a little bit of fresh cracked pepper, some lime juice, some lemon juice. I've even heard that avocado mayonnaise makes a really interesting spread over the top. I'm going to experiment with that this week, and I'll let you know what that looks like. But for me, I love fresh squeezed lime juice. So for more great recipes, and this one, happydiabetic.com, you know that. It'll be on my blog under the Thrill of the Grill. You don't have to be from Georgia to love peaches. I mean, I live in Iowa, and peaches are amazing at the grocery store. So here's what we did with these delicious grilled peaches. What I did is I took a tablespoon of stevia sweetener, like Splenda Naturals or just your stevia brand sweetener, a half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a quarter teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and one medium yet firm peach, or you can use nectarine, or you could even use 8 frozen unsweetened peach slices. Thaw them out first, right? And then I like to use butter-flavored nonstick cooking spray. So here's what we do. In a small bowl, combine the sweetener, cinnamon, and nutmeg. We'll just set that off to the side. Cut the peaches into 8 wedges. Cut each wedge half crosswise, or cut frozen peaches in half. Using 8 short skewers soaked in water, thread the peaches on the skewers. Next, we're going to lightly coat the fruit with a little bit of cooking spray, sprinkle the sugar mixture evenly over the peach skewers, and then for a gas grill or charcoal grill, grill the skewers on a greased rack or covered directly over medium heat for 2 to 4 minutes. It's not going to take long. Sometimes I'll even lay a little bit of aluminum foil on my grill if you're nervous about them falling through, depending on the size of your grill grates. So the fruit's going to be tender, and it will be absolutely delicious. And I would turn them frequently to brown them evenly. This is an amazing recipe. 45 calories, 2 grams of total fat, and 9 grams of carbs. This is a delicious grilled peach recipe. And again, it'll be on the Thrill of the Grill on my blog at happydiabetic.com. If you're loving what you hear in the kitchen, please leave a comment or feedback at Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, or wherever you're listening. Believe me, your thoughts and comments are appreciated. Thank you very much. Our podcast is produced today and engineered by Jason Lewis. Our theme music by the Happy Diabetic Kitchen Band, and of course yours truly, Chef Robert on the guitar. And we've got our kitchen mascots, Scout and Tucker, somewhere. I think they're taking a nap. Well, thanks for tuning in, and let me leave you with this thought. The late, great Anthony Bourdain, who, so sad we lost him a couple weeks ago, once said, "I've long believed that good food, good eating is all about risk. Whether we're talking about unpasteurized Stilton or raw oysters, for me, the risk has always been the adventure." So long for now, and remember, no one loves you more than me.